Hi, my name is Janai Lane, and I'm the founder of Spirit Coach Training. I want to talk about how to meet our pain and suffering. Part of being human is to experience both of these things. And often, what happens is we can't heal our pain because we get caught in the cycle of suffering. So, I'm going to offer some suggestions about how we can work with our suffering in order to meet our pain so our pain can be healed. And how I'm going to do that is much more experientially with you. We're going to do a technique that I call softening, a softening technique to help us. And before we do that, there's something I want to mention about pain and suffering. And often what happens is you can think of our pain like this, like a fist, and around the pain is layers and layers of suffering. And these layers of suffering contract around the pain itself. And it creates layers of resistance, if you will. And we don't realize that what happens is with this resistance is it sort of holds the pain hostage. It's like in a cell and it can't get out. And so we have to be able to soften all those layers of resistance to open so that the pain can be released and can be met and healed. So, what I want you to do right now with me is I want you to call up some aspect of pain you're dealing with. It could be physical pain in your body, it could be emotional pain that you're dealing with, perhaps in your heart. It could be a conflict that you're having in your own mind with someone in your life that's causing you pain. So I want you to be aware of that. Just hold that and take a deep breath. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to bring in the frequency of compassion, because compassion allows what is to be there in a way that it is non-threatening, in a way that our resistance can let go. So I want you to visualize wherever that pain is energetically in your field. Maybe it's in your back or your heart or your head. And I want you to see this frequency as a pink quartz light, beautiful light of compassion, just flowing in and like a blanket wrapping the pain and suffering, just wrapping it. Not as a way to cover it up, but as a way to hold space for it. Compassion, feel this frequency coming in. Compassion is love in action. It makes nothing wrong. It welcomes everything just as it is, just as it is. The pain, the suffering, the resistance, the negation, the denial, the projection, whatever's going on, it says yes. You're okay. As you see this beautiful blanket of compassion just flowing into that area, and I want you to notice a softening happening. Perhaps not of the pain itself, but a softening around the pain. These are the layers of resistance. It's kind of like you can think of it like a rosebud, and the bud's beginning to open as the compassion is marinating in those layers of resistance. And it starts to open and soften, and just let it flood in there. Just let it flood into that area and notice that softening. Be aware of it. However subtle that shift is, just notice it. Notice it. And allow it to just flood in and flood in. The flower, the rose opening fully. So you're just letting go. You're letting go of one layer of suffering and the next and the next and the next. You're not having an argument with reality. You're allowing it to be there just as it is. Now, there's something interesting that happens as you allow something to be there in love, in this love in action, which is compassion, is that it begins to dissipate, begins to dissolve. And you might notice suddenly that your pain is now touching compassion. It's actually touching it, it's meeting it. And compassion says, it's okay, you're okay. And just let it marinate, just let it marinate. Now, what happens with our pain as we meet it in love is it begins to heal, and it heals in divine timing. It heals just as it is meant to, without us creating any resistance to that healing. So let yourself just marinate in these energies of compassion. And remember, anytime you're caught in inner conflict, which is suffering or resistance or projection or denial, which is suffering, you can use this technique to soften around whatever it is you're really trying to protect, which is the pain, which is the wound. And then with that light, you can begin to heal the pain, the wounding. So thank you so much for listening. It's so wonderful to be with you. And I wish you many blessings. Namaste.